Good morning. Today is Tuesday, August 13th, 2019. This is a regular meeting of the Los Angeles Board of Police Commissioners. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Good morning. Let the record reflect Commissioners Decker, Bonner, and Goldsmith are present, and we have a quorum.
Very good. I know Mr. Soboroff is on his way, but in the meantime, let's begin with the items. Consent agenda items. Are there cards or on any of these matters?
We have one card on 1A, 1B, 1D, 1F, and 1O.
All right. With respect to the remaining items, C, E, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, are there any questions from commissioners? Seeing no questions, is there a motion to adopt those as indicated? C, E, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. They pass 3-0. So the remaining items are A, B, D, F, and O. So let's begin with item A. Are there questions from the commissioners on item A? No questions? Madam Secretary, the public comment cards?
Okay, we have 3 cards now on 1A, and the first card is for Mr. Herman,
Very well.
Jonathan Foster, and Zach Sherwin.
Mr. Herman? Morning, sir.
And I'd like to state for the record for Mr. Guerra, attorney, that the invasive of free speech as it is necessary is to avoid the danger. So, mic on? Mic? Hello? Oh, it's on. So, for the record, to protect our free speech, I would like to state that it is an invasive as necessary to avoid the danger. So, respectfully, due to our expenses, I found out that Regina Scott signed off on a letter regarding this $1,744.31. Oh, for the record, Mr. Soboroff just walked in. But on topic, as of the incurred of June 23rd through June 24th, the police executive, known as this acronym, PERF, which stands for Police Executive Research Forum. Off topic. No, see, I'm just using the same acronyms you people use. Sorry, got you, bitch. But police chiefs and the so-called approval of the department's report, there was no mayor's recommendation for this board action. And the public would like to weigh in why Washington, D.C. would allow the chief of police and his prosecutors of the Threat Management Unit to attend a Washington, D.C. hearing, for the record, Mr. Sibley, acting Inspector General. You know, the history of Los Angeles has been that there's transparency to the expenses statement. Was that my time?
Yeah,
Damn,
thanks.
time flies.
Do we have any other speakers on 1A?
Jonathan Foster.
Mr. Foster?
I don't have it with me right now. They were going to do a research form. I hope they were researching the head-to-toe body armor that everybody needs so that we don't lose another police officer. Also, his name Moore is not Moore. He signs it with an S with a T on the bottom. His name is Sancho Tina. If we listen to this recording,
as the mayor indicated, he couldn't make a wrong decision, and so my confidence in that I would prevail on this was humbled by the reality is that
they were all lying to us, because we didn't know in January, February, March, April, and May that they had already made a decision for Sancho Tina. And now you're sending them to Washington, D.C. That's what I'm saying. This is hardly the LAPD. It's being run by Washington. It has to take all its direction from Washington. I'd love you to be the LAPD. I really would. So that Washington doesn't have a way to tell the Sancho Tina, whose name is Moore now, what to do here where they're shooting people. You know, I mean, you guys got a lot of power. I love you to death, but this kind of stuff's got to stop. That where his name is Moore, it is really signing it Sancho Tina. You know, that's a federal crime. God bless.
Thank you. Anything else on 1A?
Zach Sherwin?
I hardly think this item is the most striking thing on an agenda that includes an in-custody death. But I do want to say off the top that these expenses are listed as being incurred while attending the forum in Washington, D.C. I don't know if $1,744 includes airfare and hotel. If it does, and the chief's being reimbursed for that, it still seems high.
It
But
does.
if it's $1,744 incurred while attending the conference, it's difficult for me to.
None of the money is incurred while attending. It's all for airfare and hotel. All of
Oh,
it.
okay. The agenda says that it is incurred while attending the
Okay.
forum. So instead of making a smirky face at me for doing what I'm supposed to
I'm
do,
not
which
making a
is
smirky face, so go ahead. Stay on topic. I'm just giving you the information. Go ahead.
I mean, I think you've sort of revealed.
Want to go on back on topic?
That's why they shot Kennedy, by the way, what you're doing.
What's happening right now? Look at you. You're an adult sitting at that dais, mad dogging me like that in a room full of cops who are here to protect you. Why is it like this?
Do you want to talk about the topic or not? People come to these meetings to hear what's going on in the meeting, not to hear your stuff. Go ahead.
People don't come here to hear my stuff. Is that
Next
what you just
speaker.
said?
There
Next
are no
speaker,
other
please.
speakers on this item, sir.
Okay. Motion to approve 1A? Motion to approve 1A. Second. All in favor? Okay, let's go to 1B.
We have Mr. Herman.
Okay. How many speakers do you have on 1B?
One, sir.
Okay. Mr. Herman. Sir, shh.
I'd like to weigh in on this for the record with our city attorney, that Dennis versus U.S. 341 U.S. 494 510 71 S at CT 857 868 95 LED 1137 1951. So the issue is regarding our cadet program, a process of ambiguity due to the fact that the history of young women and children involved in the conduct with police officers at recreational events should be monitored by the Inspector General. Because it seems inappropriate that grown men would rather sleep with young men and women.
Off topic.
This is regarding a cadet program, sir,
This is
for
regarding
activities
food
and events.
recreational activities and events.
Activities and events are a cause why people get into trouble, especially political hyperbole, as ID at page 708. And we spell that HYPERBOLE for the record. So, again, when you're talking about events and activities where people get together, it's usually an adult event. So when you incur children to attend, now you have a political war of incest and rape
Mr. President, he's off topic.
Next speaker.
to utilize.
We have no other speakers on this item.
Okay. Motion
My
for
time
approval?
at 14 seconds. Is this
a second?
retaliatory?
All in favor? Aye. How about 1D?
We have Mr. Herman
Mr. Herman, 1D.
and Mr. Herman on 1F.
1D and 1.
1F and 1O.
Okay.
Sir, can
The
you,
only speaker on those three?
sir, can you state for me what item I'm on?
Yeah. You're on 1F?
1D.
1D.
Right. You see, folks,
So you can go to D,
see,
then F,
folks,
then O.
I'm on topic talking about area cadets on D, and he says I'm on F. Who's fucking confused here? Huh?
No, the D is regarding the Philharmonic Association. We're
So
both
for the
confused.
$4,320 for the Association of the Philharmonic, isn't that regarding activities and events again? I believe I'm on topic. See, there are not words that by my use of utterance tend to inflict injury. No, nor am I here to incite that young children at recreational activities and events by the color of the badge should be used for sexual activities as well.
He's off topic, Mr. President.
No, I'm speaking
topic.
about what happened with the Los Angeles area cadets, and I'm here to protect children when it comes to recreational activities in any part of our city, especially in Century City Mall. Especially. Really. How dare you so be offended that I can intelligently keep myself on topic regarding area cadets, Mr. T. Fink, for the record. And you see, just because politically I'm correct, you retaliate.
He's off topic, Mr.
No,
President.
I'm
Okay,
talking
I'll-
about the
Thank you.
monetary.
Motion for, I'll move approval of 1D. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Let's go to item 1F. Go ahead, sir.
So now I'm on 1F. See, dummy? Now I'm on the amount for $1,000 for the Wesley BUHRMESTER to utilize food and recreations at the Rampart fucking cadet program. Isn't that correct, sir? Let me state in the record, B, boy, P, pussy, C, cunt number,
Off topic, Mr.
19.
President.
Off topic there, whatever
I'm
your name
stating
is.
in the record the BPC. That's on the agenda. BPC. Get it? And it says 190223, and I'm off topic, nigga? Come on, who you fooling?
He's off topic, Mr. President.
Off topic. I'll move approval of item number 1F.
So you can't.
Do you have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. We'll go to item number 1O,
We have two speakers. We have Mr. Herman and Jonathan Foster.
okay? Herman, go ahead on 1O.
I'm on O.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, for the record, BPC 19-0232. For the record. You see, so I know I'm not off topic when I'm reading your code, BPC number 190232. Board action, it simply says to approve departments to accept donations. But apparently, the National Youth Program mini bikes, here's the acronym, don't get me off topic on it, nigga, NYPUM. Now, I use the word N for nigga on the first letters just to show you where I'm at on the acronym, relative to the donation on the amount of $4,000. See, the Police Foundation knows when I'm on topic talking about the purchase of safety equipment, not let children drive around in police cars stealing radios. I'm on topic. Necessary regarding the unique mentoring program that I should be elected to train children to stay away from police who fuck cadets.
He's off topic, Mr.
Now
President.
I'm on.
I'll move approval of item number O.
We have one more person, sir.
Okay,
We have Jonathan Foster.
Mr. Foster.
I don't have a card for you for H.
Okay, let's go with O.
Well, I did put one in for H,
Okay.
and we're going
H
for,
is already passed. Go ahead,
well, you didn't call me, though.
but you didn't have it.
Yes, I did.
You want to talk about that, or you want on this
I
time? or-
put it in, sir.
The card came after it was already approved.
Okay. We're on number O, please.
Safety equipment, it says you're going to give them mini bikes for the National Youth Project, and I highly suggest guns and ammo. and proper psychological assessment for what to do with the gun. And we had major mass shootings where if every single person had a gun, there wouldn't have been even maybe one or two shot. That's what we need to be teaching the kids. That's what lines up with the Second Amendment. But they want to give them mini bikes. I had a mini bike. I almost broke my neck, my back. I almost killed myself a few times on a mini bike. So I know that they're kind of dangerous, But I know you're trying to help youth and everything and make it look good. But as long as everybody's unarmed, we're all potential to get shot dead. It's 3 to 4 minutes to get you to a scene. So if everybody on scene has a gun, and we taught them how to properly use a gun, shoot, and more importantly, psychologically think about your anger level. Having people actually, this is good that you're tied up with youth with the police department, but that's very important because we need to know how to work with the police department as the police get on scene. One armed security guard, when the police still aren't there, is a problem. Mini bikes are cool. They're really nice. Again, I almost broke my neck, broke my back, and almost died on the mini bikes. They're very dangerous, but I mean, it's cool. I'd like to see them with guns, though. If we teach proper gun etiquette, I mean, we're trying to teach money etiquette. That comes out good. Trying to teach sexual etiquette. That sometimes doesn't always come out good. Trying to teach drug etiquette. Sometimes that does. So I just think if we were doing a better job. My last name's Foster. I teach naturally, build up, nurture, enrich, and support as a foster. That's just naturally for me. I can't do it. I'm prevented, but I come down to talk. Maybe you listen. It might take 1-2 years. Take care. Thanks.
We have no other cards, sir.
I'll move approval of item number 1O. Yes, sir.
Is there anybody here to speak to this?
Shh, hold on. Please don't disrupt. I'm
The
trying to hear
question
the
that
commissioner.
I had was this is the information notes this is a new and unique program, and we had a presentation on a very similar sounding program around this time last year. So I'm just wondering if it's the same program. So is it characterized as new because it's still new, as in this is now the second year of it? Second year of is it the second year of the program?
It's implementing now. They were talking about implementing it, but this is implementation of the program now.
Okay. All right. So it is this one and the same. All right. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move to item number 2A regarding the grant application. Do we have any commissioner questions on 2A? Grant application award acceptance? Okay, do we have any public comments on 2A?
We have Mr. Herman.
Okay, Mr. Herman on 2A. Yes, sir.
And we have Mr. Herman on 2B.
Okay. Do we have any commissioner questions or comments on 2B? Okay.
Let me get organized here, because
This is number 2A.
2A, let me go to 2A here, turn the pages, turn it like this here. No, there's no 2A there. Oh, there we go, 2A. 2A's, oh.
Also, I'd like to submit these public comment cards for the record for my public comment participation in the next items. Thank you.
Okay, so we're on item 2A, ladies and gentlemen of this Board of Commission. I'm here to transmit content regarding expressly conditional nature of a statement of the application for an award acceptance. You know, we should be giving awards to the fine public here who participate as well. Not this acceptance for the real estate fraud prosecution grant, because it doesn't happen to work. And top of that, I find the department report under YAKUS versus United States 321 US 414 that the applicant's recommendation was for the board action. However, and incidentally, being a legal citizen of the United States and collecting disability payments to keep coming here to talk about the concurrently new mayor and city council.
Mr. President, he's off topic.
Off topic.
But doesn't it say here, approve the department's report and transmit concurrently to the mayor and city council? So I'm on topic, dickhead. Shut the fuck up.
Off topic, Mr.
Off topic.
President.
Do we have any other public speakers?
We have none, sir.
I'll move approval of item 2A. All in favor? Aye. Item 2B.
Mr. Herman?
Go ahead. You can start the clock, please.
I don't have a mic on. I don't have a mic on. Mic! Got a mic on. So, retaliation starts with professional service agreements. Why is that? Why is there such a professional reporters interpreters INC? And why is California's deposition reporters INC for court reporter service? Well, it's really simple. We have a mayor by the name of Eric, Garcetti, Garcetti, who has this service under the agreement of Lyndon J. and Associates to discredit our reporter service. In the old days, reporter service used to acknowledge that people like me can get your court reports for free. Now you have to pay this substantial amount of $800 and you can't represent yourself before the Second Courts of Appeal like I'm trying to do under my BS with the city of Los Angeles for retaliation under Jennifer H. Copps of the Moss Courts.
Mr. President, he's off topic.
Last warning.
So, in signing off under BPC for the cunt,
I'll move approval of item number 2B. We have a second? All in favor? Aye. Chief's report, item number 3.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Just for the week, I want to just cover National Night Out was held on August 6th. It was well attended by the community and many of our electeds throughout the city. The chief and I and many of the bureau chiefs attended a number of locations and just had a really great time with our continued partnership with our community members and a number of the nonprofits that support our LAPD stations. Also, this past Saturday, the chief of police and Deputy Chief Dominic Choi and Mr. T. Fank attended the services for former Police Commission President Edith Perez. She served honorably for this department and this commission from 1995 to 1999. Services were held for her at Forest Lawn. Also, speaking to the chief this morning, he wanted to extend his gratitude and thanks for the outpouring of support for the loss of Officer Juan Diaz and his family. Yesterday's services truly honored and reflected the commitment and service of Officer Diaz to this city and to this department. Very, very well attended by a number of our electeds and to the commissioners of this board, as well as chief officers from this city, this county, and region. Unfortunately, very soon after burying Officer Diaz last night, our partners in Riverside, CHP, suffered the loss of Officer Andre Moye in a horrific attack on the 215 freeway in Riverside. Officer Moye was only a 2-year veteran of the Highway Patrol, and just a stark reminder again of the dangers that our law enforcement officers face every single day. On the update for crime for the city, our homicides are down 3.1, 158 this year versus 163 last year. Our total violent crime numbers are down 4.4%. Our property crime is down 7.6% for a total Part 1 crime reduction of 6.9%. Our victim shot for the year still show an increase of 3.6% at 632 victims versus 610 last year this time. Our gang-related homicides show a 14.6 decrease for this year, and our overall gang crime shows a 4.9% increase. Our officer-involved shootings for the year-to-date for 1915 versus 24 for 2018 for a 37.5% reduction. Those that resulted in fatalities for 2019 were 6 versus 10 last year for a 40% reduction in overall fatalities. Yesterday in Wilshire area, there was an intentional head strike. Response by our Force Investigation Division occurred at 12:20 hours at 659 South La Brea Avenue. Uniformed officers from Wilshire Patrol Division responded to a radio call of an ADW suspect in the 600 block of South La Brea. The officers encountered the suspect, who armed himself with a metal post and struck one of the officers in the head. A use of force ensued, and the suspect, Kamen, was tased and shot with a beanbag shotgun. One of the beanbag rounds was intentionally fired at Kamen's head, striking him on the left side of his face. A short foot pursuit ensued, and additional force options were utilized, including the use of a taser, additional beanbag rounds, and rounds from a 40-millimeter launcher. Kamen was eventually subdued and taken into custody after he dropped the metal post. Kamen was treated at scene by members of the Los Angeles Fire Department and transported via rescue ambulance to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where he was admitted for his injuries sustained from the beanbag round to the face. He is listed in stable condition and scheduled to undergo surgery for his injuries. He was absentee booked at the Metropolitan Detention Center. The officer who was struck by the metal post was treated at scene and transported via RA to rescue ambulance to Cedars-Sinai, where he was seen in the emergency room for a large contusion on the left side of his head. He was released after treatment, and there was no other officers that were injured in this investigation. Force investigation that responded is handling the administrative investigation, and the FID criminal apprehension team is conducting the criminal investigation. That's department personnel strength. As of today, total department sworn to municipal police deployment stands at 9,967. Civilian personnel deployed is 2,942. Total reserve officers is 392. Specialist volunteers 266, and cadets at 1,484. And that concludes my report for the chief.
Thank you. Are there questions from commissioners?
Yeah, just one. This is going back to the gang numbers that if I heard you correctly, the gang homicide numbers were down, but the overall crime was up. Can you comment on, in terms of the overall number, is that are the violent crimes, property crimes, or what?
Yeah, the increase is 4.9%, Commissioner. So that is primarily being driven by aggravated assaults, which shows a 10% increase this year to date. And additionally, we had an increase in robbery of almost 4%. So those are the two, aggravated assaults and robbery, that are driving that number. While we're sharing success in the reduction of homicides, those are two areas where we still are working on having reductions. Those divisions that are driving those numbers are 77th Division, Southeast, and Newton, specific in those two categories, aggravated assaults and robbery.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Other questions? Comment cards on the chief's report?
We have two. We have Jonathan Foster and Mr. Herman.
Mr. Foster?
Close microphone. First of all, what happened to this police officer is exactly what the United States of America did to the Native Americans. They shot him and killed him. And the USA was like, you guys want to get on that reservation? And the Native Americans went on a war chant, woo, 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 and they were attempting to defend their land and their way of life. And the USA went boom, 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 and shot him and killed him. Has anybody thought about the fact that the police officer was supposed to call 911 and have the on-the-clock black and white show up with appropriate backup? And does anybody remember there was a senior female in a car? She saw a tagger somewhere. She drove over to them sight distance, said, you better not be doing that. And the tagger turned around and shot her. To the Officer Diaz, who was off duty, this is gang territory. That's what they said. So you find out that these guys are illegal aliens. And then somebody will yell out, they were born and raised here. You're just a white hater. And what I said, that all good people don't want this stuff to happen. Don't want it to take place. So the tagger is alien to a real way of conduct, aren't they? This is very alien to everybody that has sanity. Alien to our way of life. You wouldn't be going around, first of all, spray painting somebody else's property, calling it gang territory when you live in Riverside, Temecula, Marietta, not Lincoln Heights. That's not your territory. Well, under the law of the United States of America, that means they just claim to be a foreign militia which means I can run tanks down to their house. I don't need to make an arrest. All I need to do is point the tank at the house, pull the trigger, and blow the house off the foundation. Now here's a police officer dead. I mean, are we really crying that much? If any police force would stand up by the balls and do what's supposed to be done, this kind of loss probably would never happen. And if the federal government did its job, it probably wouldn't happen either.
Mr. Herman?
And we do have an additional card for Gina Viola.
Forgot to start the clock, Bonnie.
Yeah, we know what it's like when homicide is down. But that's just quite the lie that represents Los Angeles. If you come to Los Angeles, likely you're going to see crime all the time. Crime on the subway, shooting of police officers. And isn't that a tragedy? Prohibiting or the prohibition of free speech and assembly is a measure stringent that it would be an inappropriate as a means for averting these type of associated behaviors. How do we interact this relatively harmful venom in our streets? Well, we have to consider that the quality of life when it comes to policing has come down to a certain degree. It's below the standard. Now, if I was packing heat, I still wouldn't off-duty approach anyone putting art up on a wall in East Los Angeles because that's part of the norm. You post a call 911 like the rest of us schmucks and let the authorities handle it from the mayor's office. We pay for what they call graffiti cleanup. But see, the mess here behind Juan Diaz was that the young man forgot where and who he is. And you apparently forget who you are as a commission, allowing taggers, terrorists, to come into our country and fuck it up. So you get what you deserve when you allow people, immigrants like Israel, who came in right now, to stay the fuck out.
Ms. Viola?
So I wanted to ask the chief where he stood on the murder of Grishario Mack, the officers Ryan Lee and Martin Robles, who killed him, and this commission found out of policy with those bullets. I just want to go on record saying we're demanding that those officers be murdered, or be removed from service. I'm sorry, not murdered. So I just want to make sure that that request is being heard. I know we've been calling, we've had petitions out, we've been circulating all that, and we haven't heard from the chief on that. So, all right, thank you.
And we have no other cards on item number 3.
Okay, let's go to public comment.
Okay, we have 6 comment cards.
Okay.
We have Jonathan Foster, Mr. Herman, and Gina Viola.
Foster?
This lady lost her husband, future husband probably, lost her boyfriend simply because the federal government is prevented from rounding up and deporting the bleep out of here. Let's talk about this lady. Would you like to round up and deport the bleep out of here so that some other girl doesn't lose her future husband or really close boyfriend? If that's something you wouldn't want to have happen to somebody else, some other girl, let's round up and get it out of here. That's what I want. See, I'm the one that protects girls' hearts, even though I really went berserk on girls in high heels. And that means I like girls in high heels, girls that like to dress up and be formal. But I would have protected this girl's heart. This girl wouldn't have an ache in her heart if you did what I said. And a lot of other people want to round up and deport this out of here. So we don't have taggers tagging up land saying it's their territory. And then some girl gets her whole heart and mind fried. She met a really nice guy, now he's dead. I'll tell you, young lady, I would have protected you, but the other Latino Mexicans won't let me round up and deport because we end up rounding up and deporting people out of their families. But now your potential family is gone with this guy, isn't it? This guy was probably going to be her husband. See what's happening? If I got more time and more minutes to speak, it really starts getting thick in here. Oh my gosh. See, I'm the one that protects girls' hearts, and yet I'm prevented from protecting girls' hearts. You people actually protect girls' hearts. These people up here, I will say, Mr. Bonner, I want to shake your hand, pat you on the back. The rest of what's going on up there for a long time has been just, God, I just can't, it smells bad. It does. I know you're trying hard. You got to stop killing people that aren't armed. You're trying. Good. Thank you.
Gina Viola. Followed by John Avalos, Zach Sherwin, and Hamid Khan. Who's first? Gina. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Herman.
Somebody got to fix these chairs. They're dangerous. The same political dangers we have on a daily basis. O'Connor versus Donaldson, 422 U.S., 563, 1975. Pain. There's just so much pain in Los Angeles. PTSD, bipolar, depression, and niggers Watts versus United States equals Kilroy, in which I do not support. So Walter Edward Bagdasarian would say, let me put that 22, if I could, to that Israel motherfucker head and send the nigger back to Israel. Except I can't do shit like that. Because I'm a white nigger from LA. I know what's happening in my
The
streets.
speaker's comments are not within the
I'm
jurisdiction of the Board
dealing
of
with
Police
the
Commissioners,
political
therefore he's off topic.
hyperbole of what's happening in Los Angeles to sober
Next
up.
speaker.
Next speaker.
There are not
Gina
words
Viola.
that by their mere utterance
Last
tend
warning.
to
I'm gonna ask you to-
inflict injury,
Please,
but to
Mr.
incite
whatever
an
your name is,
immediate
I'm
breach
gonna ask
of
you to leave the room.
peace. Pardon me?
Please.
You didn't give me a warning, sir.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did it say?
I'll give you another one.
Thank you.
Okay, sit down. Thank you.
It is imperative that these meetings be held out in the community in the evening when people can attend. I think it's by design that you have these meetings at the same time as Board of Supervisors, same time as City Council. It is impossible for people to be here in any meaningful capacity. You're supposed to be doing that on the regular. I don't think we've had one out in the community all year. Mr. Soboroff, you said no one wants to hear what Zach has to say.
About me. Yeah. He wasn't on
That's what you
topic.
said. That's what
Yeah.
you said.
Don't put words in my
So-
mouth. He was, that
I'm
was the
not
topic.
putting words in your mouth.
Okay, go ahead. Be quiet.
Then let's talk about how you opened the meeting last week. You were making a comment about bulletproof backpacks being sold where guns are sold, and what a tragedy that is. How do you not think you're part of that problem? Every time you ignore police violence against black, brown, and poor folks, you are part of this problem. A moment of silence does nothing about this problem. And you, sir, are in a unique position to actually do something about this ongoing tragedy. You can hold people, police, responsible, which might actually deter folks from feeling empowered to open fire in public places. But instead, you offer a moment of silence, 2 or 3 times a year in this room. In this room where you could be part of the solution, but you never will be. You have shown us time and time again, your hostility towards this part of the oversight process just furthers the fact that this board will never be effective, never be part of the solution with you on it. It will continue to be what it is now, the watchdog for white supremacy. American white supremacist systems that murder under the veil of legality. And you all protect that every time you rubber stamp everything the LAPD does. Every single time.
Hi, everybody. John Avalos. I teach two dance classes every quarter at UC Riverside, just so that you can know who I am. On Friday, I attended the vigil in Boyle Heights for Jesse Romero, the 14-year-old chavalito that some some white Hispanic cop chased him around the block until he was finally able to shoot him. Jesse Romero, 14-year-old. He was chased and then killed. Anyway, I attended the memorial Friday night, 1 block from Soto and Cesar Chavez, right there in Boyle Heights. I was in the bus with my little dog. I take the bus, so I stopped to have a chicken burrito at the King Taco. While I was there, it was about 7 p.m., I observed very aggressive policing, very aggressive ticketing. I saw 4 cars stopped to get ticketed while I was there having my chicken burrito and my dog was having a chicken taco. I could feel the energy of the cops. And you just mentioned all the crime is over in the Southeast and in the Newton Division. I'm talking about Boyle Heights. Why are you guys acting this way? I could feel the energy of the cops. Halfway through my burrito, they handcuffed a Chicano couple, pulled them out of the car, searched their car. They put on a big show in front of all of us. The woman cop puts on these white plastic gloves, putting on a performance. And she feels out the woman who they had in handcuffs, feeling her out with her white gloves. All this in the time span of 1 chicken burrito. I never see this in Eagle Rock where I live. Never do I see this. Is this predictive policing? Is this PredPol? Did you guys predict we got to go? What are you all doing to our people? You're making money off our people. That's what you're doing.
The next speaker is Zach Sherwin, followed by Hamid Khan, please.
I want to echo Gina's call to have the meetings in a more accessible place at a more accessible time. Also, the x-ray machine out in the lobby still doesn't seem to be functioning properly. It's almost like a running gag at this point, but I just want to name that. Not to put words in Sergeant Sapp's mouth, but before the meeting, he came up to me and told me that he appreciates the things that I have to say during public comment and that he thinks I'm a good public speaker. Sorry to put you on blast. So to come up here and to ask a question about the agenda that revealed a legitimate, at least miscommunication in the agenda, and then to have it escalate into a situation that culminated in you saying that nobody wants to hear my stuff, not only does that seem outside the purview of what we're all here to be doing, but I mean, I have at least one fan in the room. I'm smart and perceptive, and I perceived your body language to be scornful, and so I named it, and you didn't agree with that. But even if I was off base, the way that you reacted, as I said earlier, like for you to be holding eye contact with me, like the power imbalance between the two of us could not be starker. And so the fact that you're wielding your authority in that manner, I can see that you're a lost cause from the way that you're behaving right now. So I'll just address the other commissioners. You're all adults who've risen to places of prominence in this city such that you got appointed to this commission. What is it like for you to sit up there and watch the person who is, at least for now, nominally your leader behave towards me? A person who has taken time out of their Tuesday to come and be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to get into a staring contest with the president of the police commission. What an insane thing to occur in my otherwise normal day. Say something. It just occurred to me, you don't need to sit there and let that happen. Put a hand on him, stand him down. And what does it convey to the community that that's the tone of these meetings in here? It's absolutely.
Hamid Khan.
Thank you, Zach. I think that was very eloquent, and you're very generous and very kind with your words, because I don't know how I would have articulated that because sometimes it's, and what you got to do is that, well, of course the microphone is not on. So, and what you got to do is that, we have to make these people irrelevant. I mean, Soberov has to be made irrelevant, right? I mean, with all the damage he's doing, we've got to make him irrelevant, because that's how we got to deal with him. But just want to go back to Mr. Avalos' comment on predictive policing, that trying to figure out what the status of Predpol is. I mean, there's been so much happening as a result as to is Predpol going to be dismantled or not. We know on the 27th, apparently the report's coming back. People all around the country are dumping this technology. I mean, and I just want to read a quote that, an LA Times article from the CEO of Predpol, Brian McDonald, saying that the software was never intended to be the solution to reduce or preventing crime. So now this is the CEO of a corporation whose software you're using under the guise of preventing crime, who is categorically stating that the software was never intended to prevent crime. So why the heck are we paying them $60,000 or whatever the amount we are paying them? When you have Palo Alto dumping it, when you have Rio Rancho in New Mexico, and various other departments. So I think that's really the kind of stuff that we are still kind of figuring out, that what does it take, right? I mean, we worked hard, we exposed, and Jesse Romero may have been murdered in a laser zone as well, and Arcos knows very well what laser zones mean. This is the extrajudicial power, the gang units and metro units go in, guns blazing, and murder people over there. So I think there's a lot at play over here. We are in the middle of wrapping up a lawsuit. We'll see where it goes about getting the crime offender bulletins. And the last thing I'd say is that we are still having trouble with the public records issues.
Next speaker, please.
We have no other speakers for public comment. We do have one card for 5A1.
Okay.
Gina Viola.
I just want to implore you to please take time with this in-custody death. There have been 56 in-custody deaths in the past 2 years in our county, and that is unacceptable in any job profession. That would be an OSHA crisis of huge proportion. So I hope that you do your jobs today and really investigate this. It seems an LAPD officer was directly involved and the last person to see this person alive, so I'm hoping that you do what it takes to get to the bottom of this. Thank you.
And Mr. Herman says that he had a card in, sir.
No, it's okay. If he did,
Okay. He just brought one up. He just brought one up, sir.
So Mr. Django Sibley, this card here is for the record, sir. You see, we've been having incidents in this largest second metropolitan city for years. People have been taking advantage of the in-custody death. People being hung, people being beaten, people being stomped to death by police while they're in your custody. Do you not know that, for the record? Now, this one lieutenant, too, to my understanding, involving the party of, I don't know if is it a Miss or a Mr. Rojas, because the booklet back there in the room does not have that information in regards to how this occurrence of an ICD of this employee. Now, to most assholes, as I put it, the evaluation report on this ICD doesn't reflect anything back there in that book. So whether or not the public employee is going to be disciplined, will the public employee have dismissal, whether the public employee have a release from this incident, or in regard to the public employee, what's going to happen? See, this happened on February 12th, 2019. And that number was 003-19. So we need to figure out, Mr. Django, whether or not we're going to have transparency to acknowledge this incident for the public record, because I want to know more about Mr. O.J. Rojas in this involved party. After all, it is a public record.
Okay, we'll go into closed
We
session.
have no other comment cards. The Board of Police Commissioners will now recess into closed session to discuss item number 5A1 in accordance with Government Code 54957. The Board of Police Commissioners has concluded its work in closed session. We are back in open session. In closed session, item number 5A1 was discussed and the chief's recommendations were unanimously adopted. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. This meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.